Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. It's time for the nation's business. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell.
We're turning our attention now to the Jamaica Teachers Association. The process of selecting a new president-elect is currently underway across the island. 3 educators are vying to take over from Principal of St. Thomas High School, Mark Malav, who will replace the current president, Dr. Mark Smith, on August 31. The contenders are LaSonia Harrison, principal of St. Faith's Primary in St. Catherine, Jermaine Williams, who is a senior teacher at Manning School in Westmoreland, and Dr. Maureen Mullings, a practicum placement officer at Michael University College.
Just under 20,000 JTA members are expected to participate in the process. Meanwhile, as Dr. Mark Smith gets ready to demit office, he told Nationwide News that among his notable accomplishments are the One Academy AI lesson plan generator and the pushback against the Jamaica Teaching Council bill. Regarding unfinished business, Dr. Smith wants salary negotiations, which started earlier in the year, to be concluded before his tenure ends. Dr. Smith joins us now.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Wonderful.
Why would you consider the pushback against the Jamaica Teaching Council bill to be an accomplishment?
That is an interesting way to look at it. The reality is we have a responsibility as a union to fight against what we consider unjust or unfair taxes or laws that would in any way encumber the rights of our membership. And so I consider the ability for us to have our leaders pause, reflect on the legislation, the bill rather they're trying to push through to become a legislation, and to make what I consider common sense amendments to it. And so for me, that is a significant achievement.
I'm happy you use the term union, Mr. Smith, because one of my criticisms of the JT has always been that it operates more as a union than an association. And according to your mission statement, it's supposed to look at beyond just the economic welfare of teachers, but the professional development and personal well-being of its members. Do you believe the JT is living up to the secondary aspects of its creation?
Oh, absolutely. If you were to just, for an instance, pause and look at the broader discussions we tend to be engaging in advocacy, it is quite clear that we operate on two pillars. One, the union, to fight unapologetically for the rights of teachers and to ensure that we promote fair practices by our employers, but also as a teacher association, fundamentally focused on the development of our educators. And so we can look at our Helen Stills Professional Development Day. We would have hosted, since this year, under my tenure, we would have hosted the Early Childhood Conference at Shortwood Teachers College. We would have also hosted the Special Education Conference at the Shortwood College also. We have done many partnerships. The one with One is, for instance, one example of ensuring that we provide the tools and training to support our teachers to achieve their full potential while ensuring that we strengthen the educational product. And so I could go on with a litany of programs. We had an education conference recently that focused on technology in general and how it can be used to advance education with a specific focus on artificial intelligence and leveraging that. That again creates a framework for one to understand that while it is that we have duties and responsibilities as a union, we are also very committed to the work of, developing our teachers.
The One Academy AI lesson plan generator, what's been a take-up like among the teachers?
Well, it's being rolled out right now. So the idea initially upon this genesis, as my practice as a principal and as a parish president, and at Monroe, that was one of the concerns. We wanted more time for teachers to focus on one-on-one individual development plans with our students. And we realized that a lot of hours, many of them are their personal hours, were being spent, doing lesson plans. I'm saying in an era when we have artificial intelligence, we should really be seeking to automate what we can automate and allow that human contact, that human element, to be more focused on, helping to develop the holistic development of a child. And so I said, let's see if we can automate these processes. When I became parish president, I focused on listening to them. So we did a lot of surveys and a focus group, and we realized a lot of them raised concerns regarding lesson planning and how time-consuming it was. And I thought, listen, I need to find someone who can help me. And that is when, we were partnered for quite some time. I said, listen, I have the idea. I don't know how to operationalize it. And he brought his wealth of experience and knowledge to be able to help us develop this software that I think will be really a game changer. So we're doing it in batches, and so it's primarily focused on secondary right now. So the one that's rolled out, the version is focused on the secondary level, bring on Jamaican curriculum, Jamaican content, and then we're expecting by September we should be able to roll out our primary section, and that will help our primary educators, and then we have the early childhood thereafter. And so we're really providing an opportunity to support our teachers to achieve their full potential and give them back their time. And I think time is very important because a lot of our educators spend too much time outside of work, engage in other activities that are, unfortunately, very important for teaching and learning to be effective, but they're not paid for that. And we're saying, now we give you back your time. And I think that's a tremendous achievement.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Smith, speaking of the matter of pay, have you managed, as you said, you're trying to get this matter of the salary negotiations ended before your tenure comes to an end. How far along the wicket are you in terms of that?
We were the first union in November, end of November, to submit. The last few days in November, we were the first one to submit our claim. We were the first one to have our clarification meeting. We were the first ones to meet with the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance rather, and start negotiation. And so we have really been pushing on about any delays. Definitely was not on the side of the JTA. Obviously, it's a process. We have been had some fairs, very very in-depth discussions with the Ministry of Finance. Sometimes got a bit heated, but at the end of the day, the point is that we have to walk over with the best possible deal for the teachers. I'm still committed to it, and there still is time, I believe, for what I consider good things to prevail. I have a lot of faith, and I'm very optimistic that good sense will prevail, and we will be able to have a negotiated settlement that the teachers can be feel indicated in what would have been put on the table, and that the country will be happy with the fact that we will be able to finally remove the friction of salaries that has too long lingered around the education sector.
And speaking of that friction, Dr. Smith, do you believe that too much of the JTA's time is taken up on this matter of salary negotiations and settling matters of emoluments and benefits, rather than, you said, the work that the JTA wants to put forward in terms of the professional and ethical improvement of teachers?
Well, you know what? I look at it like this, that at the end of the day, one can chew gum and walk. And so we do a lot of things at the JT. Oftentimes, so I'll say, for instance, we partnered with eLearning Jamaica to open 4 coding labs on Labor Day at Micheltown Primary, Jesse Ripoll, Johns Rollins, Success Primary, and Cooper's Hill Primary. So we're really doing these various activities around the country, adding value to the education system. But we have a responsibility to address a long, lingering issue that has created much disquiet to our teachers, much discomfort. It's left a bad taste in many teachers' mouths as it relates to salary and compensation issues. I would really like, for us to, just once put something before the teachers that can have them highly motivated going into the classroom come September. Now, I've said that the Prime Minister's Award, Achievement Award for Teachers recently, I said the first in our history that we have a Prime Minister that's a former education minister. We have a finance minister that's a former education minister. And I think we have a highly enthusiastic and energetic Minister of Education who seems to want to solve the fundamental issues that we face. And so I look at it and I think to myself, if ever we're going to do this, this would be the ideal time. We have people in the right places that understand the nuance of the child. We have been asked the teachers to deliver before we have paid them what I think is a fair and competitive salary. And an era where, according to Antonio Guterres of the Secretary General of the United Nations, has articulated that between 2020 and 2030 will be a 44 million shortage of 44 million teachers globally, that we have a responsibility to ensure that we secure the future of Jamaica by ensuring the pipeline for teacher education, training and development does not dry up. And it requires us to make the sector attractive while at the same time retaining the strong. And that is why, negotiation claim, we have looked at things like an inducement allowance, a retention allowance. We're not just talking about raising salaries. While we do have a figure there for increasing the actual nominal amount, there are other things I think are very important. We have to strategically make some concessions as a country to ensure we are able to retain the brightest and smartest individuals to safeguard what I consider the quality of education that we desire.
Mm-hmm. And as you prepare to pass on the baton to Mark Malave, and then as you survey the three candidates vying to succeed him, are you confident that the future of the JTA will be in good hands?
Yes, I do. I'm a very optimistic individual, and I think that's the way to live one's life. Try to, you focus. There will always be challenges, and we have to deal with them as they come about. Mr. Mark Malave is a gentleman who has led Dallas High School with great distinction, and I trust that he will take all that he has acquired, all the experience over the many years, and to apply that to leading the strongest union in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. What's the status of the lawsuit brought by Lasagna Harrison against the association?
Well, it's still with our lawyers. Has not yet made it to the courtroom as yet. Well, what is clear is that I'll admit it's a very peculiar situation we find ourselves in, but it is what it is. And I'm often a man not to spend my time focusing a lot on the rearview mirror, but I focus a lot on looking through the windscreen. So it is in train. It's a process, and we have to do what we have to do as an association. She's a candidate in the race for president, and we will president rather, and we have to president-elect rather, and we have to see how that plays out. But the candidates have made their case, and the teachers will speak. It's a democratic process, and at this time, we just wait like everyone else to see the results of the election.
But shouldn't your members carefully consider that, though?
Yes,
that someone seeking
precarious
to lead the association as president has also taken it to court, is suing it. Shouldn't your members carefully consider that when they make their decision?
Well, I think that any well-thinking member of the union will look at all the variables, all the arguments. Ms. Harrison would have put forward her position on why she took that stance. And so it is, I have much faith in our teachers that they will, evaluate all the information before them and make what they consider the right choice. It is, after all, a democratic process, and we have to respect that, however the result turns. And we just have to move forward thereafter, whatever the result is. So I'm not too perturbed by that, and at the end of the day, my opinion, I think, is irrelevant at this point as I look to the Met Office.
As irrelevant as you think your opinion is, Dr. Smith, I'm still going to ask you, don't you think that on the face of it, that should at least raise a red flag that disqualifies her?
Well, there's a certification process, and there is a general counsel that would have been given responsibility to examine the suitability of the candidates. And after, I guess, some deliberation, the decision was made to permit Mrs. Harrison to continue. And so I abide by that, and I think we should all do so.
You're not telling me your personal opinion as to whether you think she should be disqualified?
I think my opinions here, I would not want in any way to impact the elections. I have too much respect for the democratic process and the value of it and importance it holds in the very essence of what we are as an association.
But Dr. Smith, where does that leave the association if she wins in terms of the status of that lawsuit? She would be the one representing the JTA in a lawsuit that she herself brought?
Very interesting times ahead. That's all I can say. Very interesting.
It sounds, Dr. Smith, that you don't think she should have run.
As I said, my opinion on this matter is irrelevant here. That process has played out, or isn't the process being played out, and it is best for it to be left there. I don't think I should make any further comments on the matter.
Have your colleague members asked your opinion on the matter?
Yes, and I've decided as president that I should stay out of it.
Ah, so you have not shared a view one way or the other?
No, I don't think it is right as a sitting president.
Ah. Have you already voted?
Unfortunately, my mother got very sick yesterday, and so I was to attend to her at the hospital, and so I was not able to.
Oh. So, but the vote goes up until Friday, I understand?
Yes, but they're going parish by parish,
So you've missed your opportunity.
yeah, my property right. The polls have closed in my parish.
I see. All right. Final word to your members who are going parish by parish now, making that decision as to who will become president-elect. What's your word to them?
Well, I asked them to look at the cases made by each candidate, to wait and to think about the strategic direction of the union. And I trust that they will make the right decision in the best interest of ensuring that we have a stronger JTA going into our 61st conference.
All right. And you return to Monroe come September?
Oh, I look forward to that. I look forward to returning to the amazing teachers and my incredible boys that are there. And we have a lot of work to do to continue to strengthen the standing of our males in society. And I have a big commitment to that.
All right. Dr. Mark Smith, he's demitting office as JTA president. He will demit office on August 31 and resume his substantive duties as the headmaster of Monroe College there in St. Elizabeth. Congratulations on your tenure, Dr. Smith, and we hope to continue to have conversations when you resume as principal.
Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to it.
All right. You too. That's Dr. Mark Smith, the outgoing president of the JTA. He says it's a peculiar situation. I think it's more than a bit peculiar.
That's my wording for it. Yeah. Very precarious.
Well, up to the teachers. We'll see what they do.